Hey guys, it's Mike, and some of you may have seen my video where I upgraded these CSL pedals with an elastomer brake mod from 3D Wrap. 3D Wrap reached out to me again with another product they wanted me to try, which is this clutch and accelerator mod, which improves the feel of it. So I'm going to install that today. But they also sent me a second kit. So I'll do one on the clutch, one on the accelerator. And they also sent me this, which upgrades the feel of the standard non-load cell Fanatec brake pedal. And they also sent me this. I'm not sure what it does. And they also sent me this, and I'm not sure what it does. And they also sent me this, and I'm not sure what it does. Alright, so thank you so much to 3D Wrap for sending me all this. It's a bit much for one video, so what I'm going to focus on is the two products that I'm most excited about. The Pro Upgrade Kit for the clutch and accelerator, and the second product I'm really excited about is this. So this is an upgrade to the $80 standard CSL pedals, which is the non-load cell version. At $80, I don't think there's a better deal in sim racing, period. I think those CSL pedals are just a fantastic product. But the brake is quite soft, so I'm interested to see if this, what I'm guessing is elastomer mod, really changes things. You know, could you take an $80 set of CSL pedals, add, you know, 20-ish euro for this product, plus shipping and taxes, of course, and, you know, turn it into a hugely upgraded set of pedals? We'll see. So those are the two I'm most excited about. So I don't really know how the build is going to go. I'm going to have to look up videos, so I'm not going to do it on camera, but I'll go ahead and get that installed and then come back to you guys and let you know my initial feeling, and then I'll get it mounted on the rig and test it out. Alright, so 15 minutes later-ish, thanks to a helpful video from 3D Wrap, I have it installed. So this is the 3D Wrap mod. I'm sure you guys can see that on the back of the clutch pedal. And the reason I went with the clutch pedal after all was because it changes it to non-linear travel. So basically you get, I'm going to say 20% of your travel that moves pretty easily, then it gets stiff, and then you push through that stiffness. And then the last like half, I would say, roughly 40-50% of the pedal travel is pretty easy. So again, stiffness, then push through that stiffness. And yeah, that's designed to emulate, obviously, the travel of your regular clutch pedal rather. So that wouldn't make a lot of sense in the in the accelerator, on the accelerator pedal. So that's what I did. So the accelerator is still just linear travel. And then the 3D Wrapped one, this is the one with the progressive resistance. So kind of interesting. So now I've got two mods on my pedals, brake, and clutch. And so I'm going to get this mounted and test it out shortly. But I also want to show you this. So this is the second one. I told you guys I was excited about two of their products. These are the standard CSL pedals. So $80 for these, and I really can't recommend them enough. At $80, I mean, even to have as a backup in case your main set of pedals goes down, these are really solidly built pedals. I don't know how they did it for $80, but smoking deal. So highly recommended, again, even as a backup set of pedals. But anyway, I put the 3D Wrap mod on the brake pedal because the brake pedal from the Fanatec factory comes with this. It's just a foam stopper or resistance pad, whatever you want to call it, that normally sits where the 3D Wrap elastomer one is sitting, and the travel is really soft comparatively. And then you put this elastomer one in there, and again, a little bit of preload, and then you hit a much stiffer brake pedal, which is actually what I wanted. Hope this second set of pedals isn't messing up my focus, but that's actually what I wanted, was a stiffer pedal, because I think these are great, but the factory foam insert is just a little bit too soft, so the elastomer should be a little more stiff. So I'm going to do some testing with these, and then we'll get into my final thoughts. Alright, so impressions of driving with the 3D Wrap Pro Kit for the accelerator or clutch for the CSL pedals with the load cell kit. Well, not great, I have to say. My foot doesn't really have any sense of that non-linear travel. The clutch feels heavier, but it doesn't necessarily feel non-linear. Now, it's possible that I just have clumsy feet, and people with more dexterity and sensation in their feet will get more out of that nonlinear travel, but for me, it just kind of felt heavier, and that's something you could accomplish, of course, with a spring, and you don't necessarily need a nonlinear Pro kit from 3D Wrap to accomplish that. So, not great impressions. I mean, I still like it. I'm going to leave it on there. There's no reason to take it off, but at the same time, I think the intended design of the Pro kit is to give that nonlinear travel, and as we saw on the bench, that sort of preload, and then the travel gets more difficult and then kind of eases up near the end of the travel. I couldn't sense that at all with my feet, unfortunately, so I know it works because I can do it with my hand, but I don't get that sensation with my feet. So unfortunately, even though I will leave it on, I can't really recommend this. But the good news is I loved the brake mod for the standard CSL pedals. Fanatec's $80 pedals are impossible to beat as far as I'm aware. They're a really high quality set of pedals, and sub $100. I mean, it's amazing. But again, that soft foam pad that's behind the brake pedal, just a little bit too soft for my liking, and I find the brake travels to its full extent a little bit too easily. But the 3D Wrap mod stiffens that up a lot and makes it harder to press the brake to its full extent. Not impossible by any means, but adds a little bit more resistance, and I really appreciate that. And of course, I'm sure it goes without saying, but these are not as good as my Heusinkveld Sim Pedal Sprint. They're not as good as my Fanatec V3 inverted pedals. They're not as good as a load cell pedal, but at the same time, for 80 bucks plus about $25 for this brake mod, I mean, I think it creates a really good set of budget brake pedals. So I would highly recommend it if you're going the CSL pedals way. If you don't like the feel of your CSL pedals and you have a little bit of extra money, definitely this 3D Wrap product gets my recommendation. Okay guys, so final thoughts on my 3D Wrap haul. Well, again, like I was talking about, this progressive travel mod, it doesn't really do much. It didn't do much for me at all. It's possible that if I had a lot more dexterity and feel in my feet that I would notice it, but I can really notice it nicely with my hands. But as soon as I put my feet on there, it just kind of feels like a little bit of extra resistance. So it's not a bad thing, but it's not how I expected it to function, and it's just far too light. I think the design is good, but it's just far too light for me. So this unfortunately did not do much for me, but I'll remain on the path that I think this elastomer mod for the brake pedal is a really, really good mod. But again, can't really recommend this one. It just didn't do much for me. But for the standard CSL pedals, this one gets a strong recommendation from me. So again, at 80 bucks for the CSL pedals, I really believe this is one of the best deals in all of sim racing. Truly fantastic relative to the price. And whether it's your main or whether it's your backup, recommend having a set if you run the Fanatec ecosystem. And this elastomer mod actually provides really nice resistance. Now, I'm not going to claim that this can compete with my Heusinkvelds or any of my higher end pedals, but as a comparatively inexpensive product for an $80 set of pedals, I think it's really, really good. Now, is it particularly innovative or special? Not really. All you're adding is resistance. They do a good job. It happens to be the right resistance. But yeah, again, it's not particularly groundbreaking in what it is in terms of technology, but it does add a good amount of resistance and really takes the CSL pedals at 80 bucks to a higher level. So versus load cell, go with the load cell if you can afford it. But if you only have it in the budget for these CSL pedals, or you're looking to improve them in some small, easy to install way, yeah, I think 3D Wrap did a great job with this brake pedal mod. So it's a very simple, very inexpensive upgrade. So links are in the description to learn more about these 3D Wrap products. One recommendation from me, and one that I don't really recommend, but 3D Wrap I think is a pretty inexpensive way to upgrade some budget pedals to a little bit of a higher level. So kind of cool. So that's it, guys. Thank you so much for watching, and we'll see you next time.